It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a beautiful Tuesday morning with a very strong health focus. In fact, this whole month is dedicated to breast cancer awareness, an annual campaign aimed at increasing awareness of the disease. And this is also a call to action for everyone to evaluate their lifestyle and help reduce their risk of cancer. And today we have expert Megan to tell us a little bit more on how we could possibly lower our risk and boost our immune system and help protect against cancer-fighting cells. So thank you so much for joining us, Megan. Always great to connect with you, especially over such important times. And we know so much can be achieved through early screening and detection, and that is very much at the heart of the awareness we're trying to create around Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But what can we do to lower our risk of cancer?
Well, if we're talking diet and lifestyle, the one thing, to start with is just to be proactive. So I would recommend that follow a healthy, balanced diet. Remember, when it comes to physical activity, the World Health Organization actually suggests 150 minutes a week. So if you look at that, that's basically 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. You basically can collect that over the period of the day. And then, of course, very importantly as well, is that when we're looking at our diet, it is important to make it a plant-based diet. If you're looking at your plate, try and aim for about 3/4 of your plate coming from fruit and vegetables, legumes, etc. And then that would really be a really good start to what you're doing. And one thing to add to that is to try and maintain a good weight, because that has been shown to be linked to your risk in cancer.
And these are all things within our control. I know there is nothing more terrifying than receiving that diagnosis, but when we talk about taking those precautions, there are so many things that are actually within your control. You mentioned kind of broader food groups. What foods specifically are cancer fighters? Okay,
so ones that I'd really recommend are your oily fish. And then, of course, looking at your fresh fruit and vegetables, particularly if you can go seasonal, that's a really good way to go. And something like your nuts.
Cheaper, yeah.
Yes, definitely. and also, when you are wanting to start increasing your intake of those types of foods, one thing that we do have is BWELL and Cancer actually collaborated and brought out a cookbook, and it's the Smart Choice cookbook, and it is available on the BWELL website for free. You can download it.
Great.
And what's really nice about it is it's got different breakfasts, lunches, different suppers, as well as snacks and treats, and also vegetarian options.
I think that's such an important thing, because we often, as soon as you start thinking about eating healthily, you think, okay, well then flavor is going to go out the window, texture is going to go out the window, and enjoyment is going to go out the window. But often if you can inspire yourself with finding kind of your flavor palette within that, it makes eating healthily far more easier, but it incentivizes you to actually enjoy it and involve yourself, and you get excited about preparing those meals. And snacks is a big thing, because often that's where we transgress, is because we need instant gratification. So if you can pre-prepare some healthy snacks. You mentioned your fatty fish, and I'm assuming that's because of omega-3 specifically.
Absolutely.
When we look at its relationship to mental health, massive, its relationship to overall health, well-being, to the health of our gut, health of our brain, but it is a hugely important element to our diet. If we're not keen on fish, what are some of the best ways of taking it in?
Definitely. So the one that we can look at is particularly the BWELL oils, but the canola oil is great, because canola is actually high in omega-3. And then we've also got the canola and the olive. And what's nice about that is it's very low in saturated fat, it is cholesterol-free, and it's high in omega-3. So it's a great cooking oil, because it's got a higher smoking point, which makes it healthier. It also doesn't
break down when you're cooking with it because of that higher smoking point.
It's definitely a better option.
So the early screenings, where do they fit into lowering your risk of contracting cancer?
Okay, so what I can suggest to everyone is, we all make excuses. We've got reasons. Sometimes it's too costly. We don't find time. We also have a fear of going.
The guys with prostate, it's the same thing. A million reasons.
But if I can recommend it, is that, don't wait. Go for those regular screenings or regular checkups. Because the moment you actually detect that there might be something, you can start acting on it, and you can actually reduce your risk, in that way, instead of waiting for too long. So it's really important to do that, sooner than later.
Thank you so much for that. Some great hacks there. I would recommend taking a look at the Smart Choice cookbook as well with cancer and BWELL, and you can get that at bwellfoods.co.za. I think most importantly, don't let your fear of doing something, often just the unknown, prohibit you, stop you from going to get scanned. And the same thing applies not just to women when it comes to breast cancer, but for all forms, for gentlemen, especially with prostate cancer as well. I'm of that age now where I've got to start thinking about that. Don't let your fear stand in the way of a possible early detection, because that could make all the difference.